Rubber dead in my tub. I'm on fire. Soak it up with a rub. Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor.
Oh, God. Oh. To understand why people aren't really digging Annabelle after having seen it, I think one must take a look at director John R. Leonetti, who admittedly is not really known for his directing. He's a director of photography, but he's also a little old school. So there's techniques in this film, Annabelle, that today's audience is not accustomed to. And I think that it almost feels dated for a lot of people. It might be subtle, but with a lot of technical things, you might not be able to verbalize what you don't like about it. However, those subtleties do get trapped in your head. The coloration of the film is not what you're used to today. It's not gray and blue or green and yellow. It's not one color. It's fluorescent. It has multi-dimensions. It has multi-colors. That alone is something that today's audience is not accustomed to. John R. Leonetti used a lot of deep focus, and I thought that he used it very well, but it's something that, again, a subtlety that people are not going to appreciate. However, there is a couple shots in here where he flexes his cinematographer skills using deep focus and using some older techniques that people don't really use anymore to set up some really cool classic horror shots. Let's be real here. That doll looks so stupid. Every time that doll was on the screen, people laughed. I do not think that was the intention of James Wan or John R. Leonetti. The original story, she was a Raggedy Ann doll. Now, maybe don't use the Raggedy Ann image because of what it's worth or what it does to people's minds when they see Raggedy Ann. I don't know what that is. But don't use that doll. That doll is just so over the top and ridiculous. No one owns a doll like that. And maybe you could say, oh, I know someone who does. But that person's probably stupid. The jump scares. The jump scares. The jump scares. Yeah, that drives people crazy. And it is so overused. And what's disappointing in this movie is they're used in times where silence would have been golden, where it would have been so creepy, lingering feeling of demons and apparitions lurking in the household, and instead it went boom! I'll tell you what, and this is the truth, there was a scene, and a very elongated scene, that did not utilize the jump scare that really kind of got to me, that I was kind of shaking inside my own skin, that I was actually scared for Annabelle Wallis's character, and it was a long, lingering feeling that lasted until the next jump scare, and then it took me out of it. The score kind of drove me bananas. It was so strong in times that it shouldn't be. The music was so overpowering during the most subdued scenes.
I don't think what you're experiencing is a ghost.
Annabelle is suddenly not the problem here. It's a demon. Is it Annabelle's ghost? They say no, but then that doesn't make sense because we see Annabelle. Honestly, it would have been better to just cut all the explanation altogether, at least in my opinion. We could have done without it and made the story up in our own heads as to who's haunting them or who it's coming from, because their half-assed explanation just doesn't do it. What's your favorite Sam Adams Oktoberfest? What's your favorite Sam Adams? Is it Oktoberfest, the winter, the summer, or just the good old Boston Lager? I think that's mine. Sort of like Alien, this movie deals with a lot of maternal instinct in a very intense situation. Well, like a lot of horror films. I was not convinced of Annabelle Wallis's motherly initiative in this film. I was, however, convinced by this kind of fun, happy-go-lucky dynamic between her and Ward Horton, the main actor. They had such a pristine, classic film dynamic between the two of them, like a classic married couple. Now, it wasn't exactly believable, especially since Ward Horton's character is so inexplicably heroic and just works so well under pressure. Maybe some guys would be like that, but in this situation, it just scene after scene of him just being the man, it's not exactly believable, but it is in a cinematic sense, in a classic cinematic sense. Does Annabelle deserve the hate that it's getting? Well, it's probably not a special kind of film that's gonna stick with you forever. It's not a film that you're gonna go home and say, I can't wait to see it again. You're probably gonna be better off with films like The Conjuring if you're into James Wan. If you are a James Wan fan, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna like this film. This is a John R. Leonetti production. Is it better than the Mortal Kombat film that he made? Yeah, it's a step in a better direction for him. He does utilize some great cinematographer skills, some classic strong techniques. However, it's just not a strong enough film. It's not a strong enough story. Bathing in bacterial soap regularly can make you more of a conductor of bacteria. Can you believe that? So don't do it. If there's anything you want me to talk about, please let me know and do all that YouTube-y stuff. And hey, I'll see you next time.
Rub it dead in my tub. I'm on fire. Soak it up with a rub. With your pride.